Hello, curious minds, welcome back! Or if you're new here, welcome for the very first time to the place where questions are always the right answer. I'm Quizzy, your slightly magical, totally obsessed with knowledge guide from Work4You Tutor. And today we're talking about something so simple yet so powerful that once you understand it, you'll never want to stop doing it. We're talking about asking questions. That's right, just asking questions. Now I know what you might be thinking. Quizzy, I ask questions all the time. What's the big deal? And to that I say, buckle up, my friend, because there is a lot more going on inside that brain of yours than you realize. Ready? Let's get started. Here's something really interesting. Most of us go through our days on what I like to call autopilot mode. We see something, we accept it, we move on. The sky is blue. Okay, cool, moving on. But the moment you ask, wait, why is the sky blue? Suddenly, you're thinking about light waves and atmosphere and how our eyes work. And here's a little secret the smartest people in the world know. But if you ask, why does that happen? Or, what would change if this were different? Now you're getting somewhere. Now you're building real understanding. This is why great scientists, inventors, and thinkers throughout history weren't necessarily the people who had all the answers. They were the people who asked the best questions. Isaac Newton didn't just say, oh, an apple fell. He asked, why do things fall down and not up? And that one question led to the discovery of gravity. All from one little simple question. Hey, pause for just a second. I want to ask you something. You've been learning about the power of asking questions, but what if you had someone right there to answer them? That's exactly what Work4YouTutor.com is all about. It's a platform where you can connect with real tutors from all around the world, people who are ready to help you learn something new, improve your skills, prepare for exams, and so much more. Whatever you're curious about, whatever you're working towards, there's a tutor waiting for you there. So don't just ask questions into the air. Ask them to someone who can actually help you grow. Head over to www.work4yoututor.com right now and sign up. Your next big aha moment is just one tutor away. Alright, now back to the good stuff. Let's start with a little brain science. And don't worry, I'll keep it fun. When you ask a question, a real, genuine, I wonder why kind of question, your brain actually lights up. Scientists call it the curiosity state. And in this state, something incredible happens. Your brain releases a chemical called dopamine. Yes, the same chemical that makes you feel good when you eat your favorite food or hear a great song. Your brain literally rewards you for being curious. But wait, it actually gets even better than that. Researchers at the University of California found that when people were curious about a topic, they didn't just remember the answer better. They also remembered other things they learned around the same time, even things that had nothing to do with the original question. So curiosity doesn't just open one door in your brain, it opens all the doors. Think of your brain like a big, cozy library. When you're bored and just sitting there, the librarian, that's your brain, is just chilling, doing nothing. But the moment you ask a question, that librarian jumps up, runs through every aisle, pulls out books, makes connections, and suddenly, the whole library is buzzing with energy. Asking questions literally wakes your brain up. Now I want to talk about something we don't always connect to intelligence, but absolutely should. Questions make you smarter about people too. The most likable, successful, and wise people I've ever heard about have one thing in common. They ask great questions. They're curious about others. They listen. They learn. And here's the twist. When you ask other people questions and really listen to the answers, you come across as smarter, more thoughtful, and more interesting, even if you haven't said much yourself. Because intelligence isn't just about what you know. It's about how well you connect ideas, and people are full of ideas. Alright, so we've covered so much good stuff, but I have to talk about the one thing that stops a lot of people from asking questions in the first place. Fear. Fear of looking dumb. Fear of bothering someone. Fear of being wrong. And I get it. I really do. In school, in meetings, even with friends, sometimes asking a question feels risky. Like somehow admitting you don't know something means you're less smart. But here's the truth, and I want you to really hear this. The people who are afraid to ask questions aren't protecting their intelligence. They're limiting it. Every question you're afraid to ask is a door that stays closed in your mind. And behind every one of those closed doors could be a new idea, a new skill, a new connection, something that could genuinely change how you see the world. The bravest, smartest thing you can do is say, I don't know, but I want to find out. That right there, That's curiosity. That's growth. That's what separates people who keep learning their whole lives from those who stop the moment school ends. So, let's recap what we learned today with your favorite fantasy guide. That's me, Quizzy, obviously. 1. Asking questions lights up your brain and makes learning stick. 2. Great questions lead to deeper thinking and bigger discoveries. 3. Questions are the secret weapon of every great learner. 4. Being curious about others makes you wiser and more likable. And 5. The only dumb question is the one you were too afraid to ask. Curiosity is a superpower. And the best part? You were born with it. You just have to use it. So make it a habit. Ask one more question today than you did yesterday. Wonder out loud. Challenge the obvious. Dig deeper. Because every time you ask why or how or what if, you're not just getting an answer, you're becoming smarter. So what are you waiting for? Stay curious, keep asking, and never stop learning. And if anyone wants to know your secret, just smile and say, Quizzy said that.